What's up, Restoration Nation? This is Pastor Steve, and I am coming to you, well, it's from my garage, and until we get like kind of a makeshift studio, if you would. This one's called The Grind. This is the series called The Grind. I'm talking to all my entrepreneur friends and / church planners out there. People who are starting things from zero. So, in the garage here, it's pretty hot. And in the house, we have a nice new central air conditioner. And, I thought about it today when I thought, I gotta, do my shoot here. I want to speak to everybody here today, and of course, talking to all my church planner friends and so forth. I already said that, but and entrepreneurs. When you start something from scratch, and you try to jump into the fire, and you try to jump into something, there's a small chance that everything is just going to go right and just keep going. Rarely does that happen. Too many times, and me included, and I'm still going through it right now as I'm videoing this, a lot of people can't take the heat. Right now it's about 95 degrees here in New Jersey. My garage, it's probably 100. And when I go inside and I go in my home office, it's nice and cool, it's comfortable, my dogs are laying with me, my family's in there right now, and they're making dinner and all that. My leaders are gonna be coming over tonight for a leadership meeting, and life looks good, right? That's what I would consider getting your standard job. Get your paycheck, you do your thing, and the company pays you, and that's that. When you start something from scratch, welcome to the kitchen, Hell's Kitchen. Because at that point, you're starting something from ground zero, you're gonna go through a lot of roller coasters. And let me talk to you about that. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like fast rides. I don't like roller coasters and the whole up, down, all around stuff. And this ride is pretty much like a roller coaster. And I can tell you from my personal experience, when we started Millville Community Church, to then rebranding it to Restoration House, and where we are today, we're almost celebrating our 4-month anniversary. And I just gotta tell you guys, when you get up in the morning and you feel like somebody's hit you in the head with a sledgehammer, day after day after day after day, and for those of you who are out there who have faith, and you're a pastor or maybe youth leader or whatever, I don't care how long and how much you call on God, there's days where you feel like He just kind of took a vacation and a holiday. And I believe He does it on purpose, not that He left us, but sometimes we just need to feel the fire. We need to feel the heat. And so I'm out here tonight, and I'm already starting to sweat and everything, but I could do this shoot inside in comfortable air conditioner, but I kind of like the table I'm sitting in right now. And tap my screen here. It's telling me I got a low battery. And it's easy to go inside and do the shoot in there. It's hard to come out here, and yeah, it's a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more in my zone. But I chose to go outside in the heat. And when you are going through the beginning stages of starting your company or starting your church or whatever, you're gonna have to feel the heat. I hate this message already because it just doesn't seem like it stops at times. And when I talk to other people who are starting churches or starting businesses or whatever, and they start whining about it, I'm like, I know, I wish I knew this, but maybe if I knew it, I wouldn't have done it. But in order to go through these times, in order to persevere through these times, the one thing you got to think about is this: what is the total goal of this whole thing? And are you in for the long haul? If you're in for the long haul, you're going to have to deal with the heat. If you're in for the short haul, you can go back into the nice comfortable air conditioner and you're only going to get so far. But the minute you go outside the box, and the minute that you start doing things that you feel are incredibly dangerous, incredibly risky, incredibly scary. That's when you're going out into the heat, into the frying pan, and doing things that you never thought you would do. I only wish that I knew this 4 years ago. But again, no regrets. It happened, and maybe that's why I'm doing these videos now. So I want to encourage you, if you're of faith, I would dare say trust God, because He knows what He's doing. And go back on His promises and word even when you want to scream. If you are not of faith and you go by a different rule or whatever, I would dare say this. Think of a runner that's getting ready to run a marathon. And as the runner is running the marathon, they don't wind sprint through it. They have to learn to pace themselves. You're going to have to pace yourself. You're going to have to take a deep breath and realize that some days are better than others, but you're going to have to stay on point of what you need to do. It's a marathon that you're going to be doing. It's not going to be a wind sprint. It's going to be a one step at a time, and marathon runners are trained specifically to do a slow grind, a slow pace, and pace themselves until they get to that end part. If they don't do that, they're going to burn out and they're never going to finish the race. And there's biblical stories about that, about when the Romans and the Greeks would do that, and some of the writers would talk about that whole thing about our lives. So I'm here to say to you, to kind of wrap it up, is this. You got to be in it for the long haul. You have to understand that there's going to be times you're going to have to go in the frying pan. But here's the cool part. When you've gone through it, you can now make videos like this. Because of the fact that you've been there. Now, you also may be still going through it, and you may still have your times, but you can kind of weather it a little better, where it doesn't sink you for weeks on end. It only may sink you for a day, maybe 2 days or something like that. You might need to take a little vacation, kind of regroup. But I'm here to tell you and to encourage you that this isn't for the faint-hearted, and at the same time, it is not something that you're just going to jump into, turn a key. And please, whatever you do, don't compare yourself to other stories. If their story went that way, therefore yours should. My senior pastor, he started the engine and had 30 people, and he never looked back. That was him. That's not me. And I can't go back and compare all that. I can't go back and say, well, he had this. It was also 1982. It was a lot different time period when people were going to church still. Nowadays, churches, it's like, what's that? So, and then also starting in Washington Township versus Millville. You see where I'm going at with this? Economically depressed, prosperity. Whole different ballgame. Drove me nuts for a long time because I kept trying to walk in somebody else's shadow, and it's not his fault, and I should never do that. So to wrap it up, guys, remember, when you feel like giving up, when you feel like you're just done, and you're like, I've had enough of this, you're going to have to remember that you're a fish in that frying pan. And you're going to have to get filleted a few times, more than a few times. But at the end, you're going to taste amazing. Speaking of, I think my wife has dinner ready. I wonder if she's got flounder. Anyway, that's it for the grind now, guys. Sign behind me there. It's Millville. I'm sorry. It's rhmillville.org. It might show backwards on the screen. I'm not sure, but that's our church. But hey, regardless, again, if you go to church, don't go to church, don't have faith, whatever. Put your comments below. I want to hear from you. I want to hear what your story is. I want to hear what you're trying to go after, and maybe if I can help you from somehow, even from a distance, that would be great. And maybe you can help me. Because again, there are people that have been through this 10 years, 20 years, that know way more than I do. But I just chose to start doing this now to help encourage people who are starting over or starting from scratch, who are, quite frankly, scared to death. So, God bless you guys. I will see you again soon. And we do this on the RH Media Network YouTube channel. Please subscribe to it and give me a big thumbs up. And hey, you know what? Be honest. If the video sucked, give me a thumbs down. Tell me why. But I want to hear from you. I want to hear comments, and I promise to respond to you, okay? God bless you guys.